My name is Aaron, aka Biggie in the online digital world, and I have been in SoaR gaming 3 years this week. A lot of my style with content has stemmed from just being around for a long time. Some of it comes back from just being a 90s kid, old comedies, old movies, then correlating to just seeing content creators throughout the last decade. Funny, unique styles mixed with some of my favorites, like more creative content creators as well. I just figured, why not mix the idea of two? I actually started doing my own content originally back in my teenage years when I wanted to design all the stuff for my bands that I was in as a kid. 2010, I noticed YouTube for the first time and just being inspired by the other creators, wanting to learn more about graphic design, then into photography throughout the years later to follow. That's what kind of influenced me to learn all that stuff. Honestly, the tech side of things is the most addictive thing from my part. Being able to teach yourself something in this day and age has been so motivating, just because I come from a small town and I wasn't really into the same vibe that everybody else was into. Not only just being creative, but being able to use this gear that years ago we could not even get our hands on. It just always drove me, from cameras to monitors to being able to create your own extravagant setup at home with everything that you do. When it comes to my skits, I just start rolling. Sometimes, obviously, when I change characters, I gotta get a little bit more neat in the detail. That's the big thing with the tech, is the tech and gear that we have nowadays, it honestly allows me to utilize it as a tool to just pump the stuff out. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it, the more efficient you're gonna get. I don't really have too much of a system. Sometimes I'll record something in literally one take, going back and forth, switching the angles, just all in one, and that really does come down to what I'm using. It is just enjoying what I do on a day-by-day basis. Naturally, if the views come, if I can relate with it is the biggest thing. If I can have fun with it, because there's just so many people in the world. So if I think something's funny, if I think something is interesting, surely other people should too. So I just kind of do it and just let everything else ride. One of the big things that I focus on with my editing style, obviously I use higher end cameras for things that some people would be like, why even bother using a DSLR camera for a vertical skit? But having the depth, having the ability to frame, connect the idea of a massive online creative world, something that we grew up with, like movies, comedies, films, making that minor connection to just a short little thing. It doesn't take much time, but I feel like that's what really sets it apart. That's what really pushes it. I think the biggest thing is the workflow. That's how you're able to just do stuff so fast. The ability of utilizing a monitor, and that I think I've been preaching this for years. The monitor is one of the most crucial things when it comes down to being a content creator, a videographer, YouTuber, whatever you want to consider it. At the end of the day, you got a good camera, you got good lighting. If your monitor has horrible colors, horrible resolution, the ability to even have a fluent workflow with the resolution, there's just so many things to consider when it comes to a monitor. For me, having a monitor with the mix of resolution for workflow and then the color accuracy, so that way I can just get the shot in, out, and posted, so that way I can be efficient, impacts everything that I do on a day-by-day basis. Man, an impactful one. It was the first time that I tried to use a camera to create a real conversation. I really put myself out there. I went out into nature and set up a shot and talked about why I didn't choose to go to college and why I wanted to learn everything myself and get into the tech, get into the creativity. After I did that video, it didn't do well at all, but just after doing that, putting myself out there, being creative, seeing the video, the final results, editing it and be look at these colors, I did this. I pushed myself to drive miles away to set up shots and do this. I did that myself. It was just such a form of encouragement that it impacted my entire YouTube channel from the push, from doing it. Not necessarily the reward, the results, growth, or anything that came from it, just getting it done inspired me like, okay, why not just make a next one and the next one and another? So yeah, that's probably the most impactful. Getting my dream car, it's hard to call it an end goal. It's something that in general, like I make it a part of everything that I do. Goals in general, goals to become a better designer, goals to learn how to be a photographer, a videographer, learning how to adapt to content over time because trends come and go. As a person, setting goals around things that you're genuinely into and that will find you fulfillment. So that way you can have that disconnect. I'm not doing it to appease anybody else. Like I'm not doing it to have other people like me. It's just that like genuine moment as a content creator, being in the online world, like anytime I can get in that thing, it's just pure bliss, a smile on my face, declutter. And being able to see something like that as a content creator and knowing, or a person in general, just like knowing that you can set this thing and you can say like, I want to have this someday. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this possible. It's never an end goal because once you hit it, it's like, what's next? What can I get? Now what, because I did this and at one point I never thought I could, and here we are. Advice for creators. Not only did I start from scratch, but I've started from scratch once, built up a YouTube channel years ago and then deleted that because I was like, where's this gonna go? And then having to start all over again, super important to know that you can do it. Anybody can do this. And I think that's like the most intimidating thing is put yourself out there. You will fail, you will embarrass yourself. At the end of the day, all you have is you, your experiences, and how you adapt with them over time. Do what you love. Now, if you don't mind, I gotta go cook. Did I walk the wrong way? Damn it.